Hey there, all the horror game enthusiasts. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm just going to cover playing the new Outlast Trials update. This one has an update name. I'm just going to call it the courtroom update. It's kind of scary. It's a different type of game, and kind of want to cover my experience with it and how far I like it. But before I get into the video, if you guys like this type of content, want to see more of it, please subscribe, hit that like button. Just helps out the channel a lot, grows me to bigger audiences, and I personally would have really appreciated it. If you're new to Outlast Trials, it is a cooperative survival horror experience that takes into the terrifying world of the Cold War era experiments. You can actually play by yourself or solo. Here I played with friends, and I do think the friend experience is so much better, just by the way. You do have to navigate the horrors of the Murkoff Corporation experiments and escape with your sanity intact. There's a ton of little things where you have to run through, and you can see on kind of the screen here, all the little things. You have like tools and things to get through, and there's a ton of crazy people coming after you, and there's just a ton of like horrors that come after you. But let's get to the exciting part. Just recently, the development team Red Barrels behind Outlast Trials, they just had a new update, and this one is where it really changes. So they have a new trial called the courtroom, and the story of it was really cool. It was almost like you had to walk through a old courtroom, and you had to go, and there were some new mechanics in it, kind of covering the different mechanics. You walk through and you get to the courtroom, and there's this whole trial and defense case going on, and you're the one that has to almost make it so the person that's defended doesn't win the case. So you're going through the courtroom trying to destroy evidence. You're trying to go ahead and get rid of the suspects, like the witnesses. As during that time, you're trying to watch out for like the cop guy, because the cop guy's all about law and order, right? And you're trying to get away from him. So during that time, you're all trying to get away from him and make sure that everything looks good and that you are the one that can destroy all the evidence. Now, the different mechanics I thought were really cool. When you first go into the courtroom, you have the first thing you're going to have to do, and this one I definitely felt like overall is harder than the other trials, just by the way, like when you're going into it. There's so many more enemies, so much stuff to do. I feel like it's longer too, which is a nice kind of breath take from the other ones. The other trials are pretty short. If you haven't seen anything about Outlast Trials, definitely look up other videos. You can check my older ones out about it. But this new one has this, it's like this puzzle solve. So when you go in, the first thing you have to do is destroy the evidence. And it's these heads locked up in these containers, which are really cool. So what you have to do is you go up to the containers that they're locked in, and you activate it, and it shows like a black light around the room, and there's different pyramids that you have to select numbers to get it. And it's really cool because like the way that they have the pyramid set up, it's easy to understand, but you can get it. So like if it has no triangles filled in, you can fill it into like 1 to 4. So let's say it goes like 4, 3, 2, 1. You unlock the head, you can take it out, and then you can actually throw it in this fountain, and you have to go get acid, which is really cool. So you take the acid and you have to spill it out into this fountain to destroy all the evidence, right? You go back and you destroy all the evidence. The cop guy's like, no, we have witnesses too. So one of the new things that kind of happened was that whole blacklight puzzle, which I thought was really intriguing and really cool. And I really did like it. The teamwork and strategy on this one is definitely a lot harder, and I would say more beneficial than any other map, and I think that's why it's harder, because of the fact that you have the heads you have to get as well as the acid. So you're doing like this 2 thing. The next part you go into even bolsters that idea a little bit more. You have the witnesses. The cop's like, hey, we have these witnesses that we need you to, that are going to attest too. So you're like, oh crap, I got to destroy the witnesses too. So you go into this room. You can kind of see in the trailer here too. But you go into this room, and there's a tracker that you get, as well as like this EMP device that explodes the brain of the witness to get rid of them. So you're going through with your teammate, and that's why I think it's best with 4 actually on this. You could do it with lower, but it's just gonna be a lot harder than other ones or maps to solo. I think soloing this would even be like super hard, so I don't even recommend soloing it, to be honest. But essentially, you go and you take this little tracker, and you go throughout the mansion or the courtroom, and you find little dots depending on where they are. Once they're closer, it fills with more dots, and it says, hey, he's right here, and you have to explode him. You have to do that 3 times, and this is what makes it really hard. You have 2 different witnesses, and you have to do it 3 times each, so you're doing really 6 times. We tried to figure out a way to like destroy the brain of them more than one, like snap it more than like 1 or twice, but the thing is, they like run away, and they either hit you or they run into an elevator. Of course, in Outlast Trials, the elevator you're not allowed to go into, so they just kind of disappear for a little bit. So it definitely is a lot more challenging. Like, this update definitely dives deeper into a little bit more of the experiments going on, as well as kind of just the story. It's a little more chilling because of how hard it is. I got jump scared actually a couple times, which I haven't on the other ones. It's almost like you're in the courtroom, you're like hiding, and somebody comes right behind you, and you're like, man. But once you blow up the witnesses, you come back, and then the person accuses you, and they're like, oh, well, you don't have any evidence, which you do now. So what you do is you go ahead and there's like these generators you have to destroy to unlock the hammers to actually destroy the person on trial, I guess you could say. And you wind up these things, and then the hammers, they kill them finally, and they actually go away, right? So you defended the witness almost, which is really cool. So I think overall, like, summary, the Outlast Trials update was really nice. Like, the courtroom is a needed trial, just because there was kind of this period of no extra trials. I will say, when they updated the game in the past, it's just revamps of old maps. They need more maps. And in the trailers, they showed like the toy house and stuff, and I think that would be more beneficial to add. But I do thank you guys for watching, and hope you guys have a great week and enjoy your day here.